Hello, welcome to Low-sal-life. My name is Sarah and I have 6 announcements for our video today. This is just a catch up. Obviously, I've been gone for a little while, so I wanted to address that and then also let you know of some exciting things that are coming up on the website and through this channel. First of all, thank you so much to the new subscribers. I think we have like 200 new subscribers since December, which was the last time I checked in. So I really appreciate you guys joining the community, and feel free to leave comments and let us know why you're here and what you need. So, all right. So the first thing I wanted to say is I was sick, and by I was sick, I really mean I was like really sick. My husband and I got Campylobacter jejuni, which is basically a bacterial infection similar to E. coli or Salmonella. We got it, I got sick on December 4th. December 11, we had a date day down at the emergency room getting IVs and some medical assistance. And Randy actually healed fairly well. He was sick for about 2 to 3 weeks, 2 weeks really sick, and then quite a few weeks to recover. I ended up having some complications. I won't go into it on this video, but maybe we might do a video in the future about our experience with that. It's possible that I got exposed to E. coli, and the health department says it's not unusual to actually get exposed to both, but basically some of the farm products that I use were recalled for E. coli, and I got sick a second time, or like with complications. Had to do an antibiotic treatment. And then I ended up getting treated in January and early February for a C. diff infection. Presumed I didn't get a positive test, but the treatment they gave me actually worked. And so now we're about a month out, and I am feeling much better and feeling like making videos again, and I don't know, cleaning the house and answering emails and things like that. So I just want to let you know that I'm here and I'm not slacking off. And I appreciate all of the comments and emails that I've received over the last few months. I let a few of you guys know that I interact with what was going on, but for the most part, it's been a very dark and unhappy couple of months. Okay, and speaking of correspondence, this brings me to my second point, which is during that time, somewhere in January, my contact form on my website broke. And I don't know if it was a combination of the hosting company changing something, and also the contact form people that I've paid for the service for maybe 2 years at least, but they ended up just stopping their service and not supporting any development on the website, on the actual form. So I ended up not receiving emails for about 3 to 4 weeks before I noticed it. So if you emailed me in January or early February, or in general, if you've ever emailed me and never received a response back, chances are really good that I didn't receive it. So if you want to try again, I have taken the contact form down and just put my email address down. It's info@low-sal-life.com. That's what's on the contact me section. And I'll just keep it like this until the website robots start spamming my email box. So far, I haven't had any issues with it, so we'll just leave it as is. Another really good way to contact me is through Instagram Messenger. It's really simple, it keeps everything attached, and I get to see like a little photo that you might have, so I remember, you know, the context of our former conversations too. So I appreciate Instagram for that service. So that's another good way to contact me. My handle there is also @low-sal-life. And also, if you got a response from me in the last 3 weeks while I was catching up with email, there's no reason to email me back a second time. If I've responded to you, then I got your email. All right, well, when I was digging out through my archive today, I do have a couple of videos that I filmed in late November, early December, right before I got sick. And so I'll have those coming out. I've got one on dust mite oral allergy syndrome. And this is basically a if you are allergic to dust mites, like inhale them and you get sick because they're airborne, basically the particles, how it may affect your diet and and if you actually end up eating dust mites. Now, one would like to think we don't eat a lot of insects, but there are times when wheat products are contaminated with dust mites. So this was actually a diagnosis I received as a possible cause of why I had anaphylaxis about 6 years ago. And hindsight, I think it was actually a salicylate reaction, but we just didn't really have much of an explanation. I was somewhat sensitive to gluten at the time, and it kind of fit into a possible option. But we're going to talk about it because even if it was a misdiagnosis for me, there is a correlation between dust mite allergy and salicylate sensitivity or aspirin sensitivity. So that's why we're going to address it. And then there might be people that who may have been diagnosed with dust mite allergy oral syndrome, but it might not be, right? It could be like in my case where they were sensitive to salicylates. So that's what I'm going to be covering with that. That one will probably come out in 2 weeks. I think it has a little bit more work to do. And then there's another one, which I just want to vouch that, put my extra stamp of approval on. I did a cleaners haul. I hit a Black Friday sale and purchased a whole bunch of EnviroRite cleaners. And so I did a haul video on it, and I meant to publish it in mid-December, and it never happened. But I will say, after being sick, very, very ill, I have definitely gotten my cleaning use, my house has been christened many, many times in the last 3 months as we've tried to battle this illness. We didn't know what we had for quite a few weeks until lab results came back. So I will vouch that I am very happy with the products that I got. So that'll be coming out. These are not substitutions for bleach, which we used a lot of to actually sanitize, but for just normal cleaning and getting gunk out of things, these cleaners were really nice. So that's coming up. And okay, so that was my third announcement. My fourth announcement is that I also did a video on December, a video interview with Emily from My Fail-Safe Life. She has a handle on Instagram and then also a website. I'll link it at the bottom of the screen. And we had so much fun. We gabbed way too long, and I apologize for not ending sooner, but it was just really nice to catch up with somebody who's interested in a similar subject. So I will be publishing that video probably in 3 weeks after I edit it. And we were talking, I know that a lot of my videos are pretty long-winded, and that's because they're complex. It's really hard to just be like, here's 5 foods you can eat, because everybody can look at a list, right? So we need to talk about hows and whys, and there's always an exception to something. So we were talking that maybe it's time to have a lot of these episodes on this channel available as a podcast. So it'll take me a few weeks to get that set up, but I am committed to that, and also committed to interviews. I hear so many great stories from you and comments and things that I can't speak to, like children. I saw one with a child that had the yellow color obsessive issues where they were resolved by stopping eating annatto, right? Like I don't have children. I haven't had that experience. Annatto does affect me a little bit, but not to this capacity. So, I mean, if there are stories that you would like to share, or like how you got diagnosed or anything like that, I would love to do a small interview with you and put it up publicly. You can even do it as a screen without your face on it. We can even make it anonymous. So there are lots of different ways, but I would like to start building up some case stories, and I think a podcast format would be really perfect for that. The fifth announcement I have is that I am going to be adding transcripts to all of these videos. While I always provide captioning for YouTube videos, you can't just flip on like translation to another language. As a solution, and for some of you visual learners who like to skim, I'm a skimmer, you can go to low-sal-life.com transcripts.com/blog. This is where I put all of my videos on there, you know, like a little thumbnail of the video, and then I embed the video in there. So at the bottom of the page, I'm going to be working backwards. So like the last 5 or 6 videos, they should have transcripts on them already. Down at the bottom, it'll say full transcript, and you can use the translation on there. I've copied some captioning over, and those do not have full sentences, but I am converting them to full sentence transcripts so that they'd be easier to actually translate in the future. So that's a resource that I am working on building out over time, so keep an eye out for those, especially starting at the top, going backwards from newest to oldest. Okay, and the last announcement, number 6, that I'm excited to announce is starting next Saturday. It'll be a really small group next Saturday because I haven't announced it or advertised it, but starting March 26th, we're going to do the 4th Saturday of every month until September. 4th Saturday, 5 p.m. Pacific time. This will just be a Zoom meeting where you can come and meet people who have salicylate sensitivity. I might have a couple of like prompts or projects that we might work through like we've done in the past. Like snacks, what are your favorite snacks? You know, maybe talk about where do you find recipes, things like that. So we might have a few prompts, but generally they've just been really casual in the past when I've done them, where we just kind of talk about maybe things that we're dealing with or how we got diagnosed, or if there's new people, answering some of their questions so they can get responses back right away. I don't like talking about so much what the cures or treatments are besides just elimination diet and avoidance, just because nobody can agree on anything on that, and there's not a ton of literature that I can point people to. With that, I hope that you will join me. 5 p.m. I think on Saturdays also allows Australia to participate late on Sunday morning. And if you want to register for those, you can go to, again, that low-sal-life.com/blog. I will have either a thumbnail up at the very top or maybe in the sidebar so that you can register for those Zoom meetings. So with all of that, thank you so much for joining me today and playing some catch up with me, and look for the next 3 upcoming videos. Those are done. They're just working on some editing. And thank you to the new subscribers, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.